Hello everyone and welcome to Dragon's Roost News with your host, Reaper K. Today we are talking about BitCraft and the groups forming around it. Before we get into it, yes and no, I'm starting my birds. There is an issue spawning them into the cage. Anyways, on with the video. BitCraft is a recently announced MMORPG being developed by Clockwork Labs with a focus on civilization building, socialization, and crafting. As the studio saying on its webpage, we aim to rekindle the social spirit of massively multiplayer games and foster creative collaboration in our virtual worlds. Though not much is known about the game, today we'll take a look at both the game and its community. Before we get to the interviews, let's look at what we know so far. The story given to us so far is rather simple. You, the player, wake up in a wilderness. As you venture the landscape, you discover ruins of a bygone civilization. Now it is your task to rebuild civilization as you and your companions see fit. Though not complicated or in depth, this story provides a nice base for the world and helps to immerse the player. Story is all fine and good, but many players are eager to know the mechanics. To be honest though, not much has been said there. What we do know is the mechanics will focus on three main things: civilization building, crafting, and exploration. On the BitCraft site, linked below, Clockwork Labs also mentions climbing the political ladder and becoming a leader, so there will likely be mechanics associated with this. We also know that the devs don't want to focus on combat. The studio webpage itself states, "We are a new venture-backed game studio which is focused on building massively multiplayer societal games that are less focused on pure combat and instead encourage social interaction and cooperation between players." This, though, doesn't mean combat is going to be non-existent in BitCraft. Community Manager 3 Believe is quoted saying, "Are challenges for players to face such as creatures." The full post talking about NPCs in general. Speaking of backers though, who's backing BitCraft? Well, I think you'll all be surprised. With people such as the CEO of CCP Games, the company behind EVE Online, and the founder of Unity himself backing this project, people should be confident that the devs will deliver on their promises. As for my change in scenery, well, though the studio was a bit full of birds. Though the devs were not available for a verbal interview, Minch, a game designer and an engineer on BitCraft, did take my questions and talked with the rest of the dev team. Unfortunately, they were only able to answer 2 of the 4 questions. Here's what they had to say. In summary, the devs are inspired by the positive reaction to their game and are working diligently to deliver the pre-alpha. Also, they plan on regularly updating the community through Q&As, blog posts, and scheduled reveals in the coming months. Huh? Okay, good. Lab just informed me that the interview is ready. Everyone, have you ever wanted to rule your own kingdom? Be the ruler of your own nation. Command an empire. Well, these intrepid gamers have done just that. Roll the interviews.
Okay, we are ready to go. So, introduce yourself and tell us just as to which nations you're representing.
So, my username is Flaming Fitzy, and I'm currently representing Umbilica. That's the name of my BitCraft nation.
Okay. Now, why did you form your nation?
Well, I'm gonna go back a little bit. So I saw the trailer for BitCraft, thought it looked very cool. Had a lot of aspects that appealed to me. Signed up for the beta and went on the Discord, and it blew up. So I saw, all these people talking. I started to get to know some of the people in there, and I thought, why wouldn't I start a group? I love to plan things. So I started something called Kingdoms of BitCraft, which at the moment is the largest community server for the game, and that was just sort of to facilitate people finding, creating, and joining groups, because I saw that that was something that people were starting to do in the official server, but there was not really a great way to do so in there, so it was just a big mess. So I made that Discord, and then I decided to kind of jump on the hype train of making groups, kingdoms, empires, nations, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I made Umbilica. I just made up a little draft. I convinced some of the fellow moderators I had brought on for Kingdoms of BitCraft to help me out, and yeah, started work on that.
Now, what are your future plans for this nation?
Well, it's kind of hard to say because we don't we don't really know much about the game at the moment. So it's a lot of speculation. It's a lot of planning that could be completely, you know, will have to be completely redone depending on what the game is like.
Right.
So far, the plan, we actually have a section within our Discord where I outline some of the plans that we have. The general idea is it's going to be a capital city and then a bunch of other cities based around certain resources. So far we just have like some idea of what resources we'll probably need, so we have some ideas of towns that we will probably need. People are pretty excited about it though. We got a lot of like communities within the community, and a lot of good people, you know, running said communities.
Okay. And that's all the questions I have for you, so thank you for this interview and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, for this interview, it's going to be a little different because we're interviewing the representative of a council that is the leader of a nation rather than the leaders of the nation themselves. So, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Go ahead and introduce yourself and the nation you represent.
I guess I'm Kid and Connor, and
Yes, Eleanor?
I represent the Shrimp Empire.
Okay. So, why did the Council of the Shrimp create the shrimp pie?
Started out as a meme, and then it just kind of turned into a.
So, what are your future plans for your nation?
Well, I mean, right now we're, neutral, but I guess when we know more about the game, I guess that's when we'll really flesh out our interests, I suppose.
Okay. Well, is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for taking your time to meet with me and to do this interview. Have a good day.
Hey everyone, it's Casey of Reaper Kangaroo here. I just wanted to give you some information going into this next interview. When going into this interview, I did not know the leader was a kid. He is a kid, so when you're listening, take that into consideration. And for the interview, I decided I didn't know he was a kid. I just talked to him like he was an adult for the sake of equality through the interviews. And secondly, in the interview, Loser Llama does say that he's is that his group isn't a nation. The reason that it's included in the nations is because I was looking for a last minute interview, and the description of his thing said it was a nation, and they had a significant amount of numbers. But I think he did that because he saw all the other groups saying they were nations, so he just included that within his thing. That, or I might have accidentally, that, or I might have clicked on, or that, or I might have joined thinking it's a nation and didn't. Yesterday was a bit of let's just say it wasn't a good day for me. I managed to get stuff done, but I also had a lot of stuff going on in my head, so I wouldn't be surprised if I missed something in the description, and it turns out they didn't say they were actually a nation, but hey, that's my screw up. And I already recorded some stuff, and I didn't really have the time to re-record, so yeah. Oh, and another quick thing, he asked to have his socials featured, and since it was a last minute thing, I figured, okay, I'll advertise his Twitch, because that's what he wanted me to advertise was his Twitch. So you will see after his interview, I'll have a quick little scene featuring his Twitch. That, yeah. Anyways, on with the interview.
Okay, so introduce yourself and the group you represent.
Oh, hey, I'm Uzurama. I don't really represent a group yet. It's really just a BitCraft team with my friends. That's about it.
So, why did you start this nation? Because you advertise yourself as a nation.
Yeah. So, well, the reason I'm just starting a team and advertising as a team is, I just want to have fun. Really, I just want to build a little, just a fun place to hang out and stuff. I don't exactly know how BitCraft will turn out, so I'm not committing to anything yet. But if it does turn out the way I think it will, then yeah, I'd like to start a nation, and probably just call it the Walls, which is another kingdom I created in an SMP I used to play.
Okay. And where you feature plans for a nation?
Nothing much, really. Just build, create, grow power. Depending on what happens, we definitely have to fight someone, I guess. I think it would get pretty boring if it was just no fighting, but I'm sure someone's gonna have to start a fight sometime. So that's it, really.
Right. Okay, thank you for your time, and have a good day.
You too. Bye, man.
Now, before we continue, I do have to clarify the reason that Loser Llama's socials were promoted. This was because he asked, and I had to get his interview last minute. Now, let's get on with the interviews, shall we? This interview is special as it is with a small nation as opposed to the larger ones I have been interviewing. Lab, roll it.
Okay, so why don't we start off with you introducing yourself and the nation you represent?
Hey, I'm Beast, and I represent Nazarick. So, basically, we'll be an empire in BitCraft in which we'll kind of be communistic, but not fully. We'll vote on things.
Okay, so why did you create this nation?
BitCraft supports empires and forming of cities. Have as many people as possible playing under the same title.
You cut out there from it. Could you repeat that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it'd be fun to have as many people in the same empire as possible in an MMORPG.
Okay, so what are your future plans for your nation?
Oh, I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What are your future plans for your nation?
I plan on conquering as much of the map as possible while not making it unfun for people, but at the same time, getting as much power as possible for my nation.
Okay, so, and since you are one of the small nations, this is a question I want to ask you. Being one of the smaller nations, what is your kind of view on things, and how do you think things will go for you and your nation?
I personally think while the bigger nations will do better than us, at the same time, they're going to have a harder time to organize their movements and, like, attacks, etc. In a smaller empire like ours, it'll be easier to and have a structure inside of it and not have, like, unruliness.
Hang on, you cut out there for a moment. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think that while the bigger empires would be better, since they have more people, of course, but the smaller empires will have an easier time organizing.
Okay. And is that all you have to say?
One last thing about the smaller empires is, I think that as BitCraft grows, all of the empires will develop more because it's still in pre-alpha. We're multiple years before release, so I think there's definitely an opportunity for change.
And okay then. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this interview with me, and have a good day.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I hope you all enjoyed hearing from the leaders of some of the nations that have formed around BitCraft. I know I found it interesting. Next, I would like to ask how many of you are familiar with guilds? Either be the Thieves Guild from Skyrim, an Adventurers Guild from any number of isekai, or one of the many mercenary guilds throughout pop culture. The idea of guilds have permeated culture throughout history. Today, it is a staple of fantasy. BitCraft is no different. Several guilds have formed around it, and today we'll hear from some of their leaders. Before we begin though, these aren't the best, mostly because these are some of the first I did, and my mind was going a million miles per hour at that point. Now with that in mind, let's give a round of applause for these guild masters.
Are you saying something?
Yeah, we are ready to go. So first off, introduce yourself and the group you represent.
Hello. Sorry, you're like cutting out a lot.
Is it okay? Now introduce yourself and the group you represent.
The Clover Guild.
You're cutting off. I can't.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, it must be something on. It must be something on my end. I got crappy internet. So
Yeah, sorry.
could you repeat that?
My name is Kurenai, and I am the leader of the guild called Clover.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You still there? Okay. So, why did you make this guild?
Have a way for players just to have a good time. Yeah, I'm still here.
Are you still there?
Do you want me to add
Okay, so
more
is that no, it's just I didn't know if it had cut off or not because of the green circle around your icon kept flashing as well. So okay, what are your future plans for your guild?
My future plans? We have quite a few. Mostly it's just build a huge player base for the game and, you know, just help them become the best they can in the game.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and have a good day.
That. Because that would be interesting to see.
Huh? I think you cut off there a bit,
Oh,
because...
sorry. It might also be my side. But, who else are you going to be interviewing?
I'm still recording, so I'm not going to answer that. You'll see that in the video. I'll answer it
Alright.
after we're done recording.
Good luck.
So, alright. Thank you for taking the time to do the interview, and have a good day.
You as well.
Okay, we are ready to go. So let's start with the first question. Why did you decide to create your group? Oh, no, never mind. First, introduce yourself and your group, and then say sorry as.
It's okay.
But
Hello. Right, can I go?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
can hear you.
Hello, my name is Tanga. People call me Ty. I am the leader of the guild, the Crows. And then I created the group because I wanted to have fun with it and saw BitCraft and the community that was forming. And at first, I wasn't sure about the group, but then ideas started swelling up, and I decided to take a risk and form the group in the guild. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what are your future plans for the guild?
Well, the future plans for the guild is simple. We are going to have bases when the game launches. Of course, we don't really know for sure, like solid plan, since we don't know much about the game and how it will be. But the plan is to make bases, spread our people around, form alliances, see where we go from there.
Okay. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this interview, and have a nice
You
day.
too. Bye.
Bye. Okay, yeah, let's start off by having you introduce yourself and the group you represent.
My name is Mimic, and I represent the Merchants Guild.
Okay. So, why did you create this guild?
Well, I am a business major in real life. I'm a big fan of economics and logistics in general. I look forward to being able to use my expertise.
What?
Go with it.
I think you cut out that. I think you cut out there for a second.
I'm sorry?
I think you cut out there for a second. Could
I repeat? Sure. I said I'm a business major in real life. I'm a big fan of economics. I'm a big fan of logistics. I'm a big fan of business. And I just look forward to being able to use my expertise in a game like this, where I haven't been able to in any others, really.
Okay. Yeah, so, what are your future plans for this guild?
So the future plans for the guild is to be a logistics company, essentially. The Merchants Guild already has a number of business alignments set up already amongst other companies, other guilds, other kingdoms. We're working on a merger right now. So we're already establishing ourselves to be a large presence in the economic facet of the game. we have a business agreement set up between us, the BCGE, the Crows, and the Kingdom of Eldaria. And we're merging with Serendipitous Merchantry right now. So, as far as what we're looking to accomplish, my company specifically is a logistics firm. We will be hosting a warehouse in basically every major settlement that will essentially operate like an Amazon company. We are going to be the people that manage the resources within it and hand out the orders to the Crows and the Kingdom of Eldaria as to where to ship said stuff from what warehouse.
And, well, thank you for your time, and have a good day.
Oh, alright, well, thank you. Have a good one, Casey.
Heyo! Reaper K of Reaper K and Crew here. Before we get to the next interview, I forgot to have them introduce themselves and their group, which is a mistake that I made. Luckily, this is right after the interview, and I realized it, so. But the person that you're going to see me interview in this next clip is Davy Jones, also known as Rice Cooker, leader of the pirate group Davy Jones Walker. Back to the video.
Okay, we are ready to record.
Alright, that's good. Fantastic.
So, why did you create your guild?
Well, to be honest, I created it with a fellow friend of mine, or like two or three friends. And I was bored and I saw the video for it on IGN, so I was like, well, this game is interesting. I created it because I was like, I want to have a group of friends just, sailing, because there was already other groups like merchant groups. So I was like, let me do something different. And a pirate popped up in my head. So yeah, I created it just so I could sail around with
Okay.
friends.
Now, what are your future plans for the guild?
For the future plans, I hope, this is not set in stone, but I hope to create an island, or not create, I hope to claim an island, call it Tortuga, and basically make it a resting place for pirates and sailors. And I want to also have lots of business deals with my allies. I want to map out the world and, yeah, just sell ships. Yep, that's
Okay,
basically
then.
it.
So, that should end the interview. Thank you for your time, and have a good day.
You too.
Pirates, mercenaries, merchants, adventurers, oh my. That's still not accounting for the countless more which have formed since I recorded those interviews. So far, it definitely seems like there is a lot of interesting groups forming around BitCraft. Lastly, let's take a look at a group which stands apart from the rest. Let's see what the leader of some mysterious people has to say. Again, I want to preface this with that I didn't realize he had cut out at first, and the second time it happened, my anxiety got the best of me and I didn't say anything. Now, let's roll the interview.
Okay, we're good. So, introduce yourself and who you represent, and the group that you represent.
Well, hello, my name is Nomad. It's my actual name, and the group I represent is just called the Nomads, or the Nomads of BitCraft, I guess. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, now, why did you create this group?
Well, I guess, like a lot of other people, I saw the trailer on IGN a couple hours after it launched, and I hurried my way into their Discord server, and I saw a lot of familiar faces from other Discord servers and other games, and I kind of understand that there's not too much surrounding the actual game. Like, to be fair, there's not really a game yet. There is something, but there's not anything that we have knowledge or access to. So a lot of, like, the reasons why I did this were not as concrete as I'd like them to be. Same thing with, like, a lot of the plans, but basically just started getting people together that would have the same, if not a similar interest in the vague things that I set up. So my goal is really to be like the mysterious people at Crossroads, or like that one shop that's just conveniently in the desert. Like, oh, where no one else would be, there's a nomad running a shop that sells water in the desert. Like, I want us to be the mysterious guy at the crossroads, as I put it. So I had a couple of people come together and say, like, that sounds really cool. So, and given what I know about the game, I just wanted to get together this group of, like, very mysterious wanderers who come from different games, different walks of life. You know, all ages, shapes, and sizes are welcome.
Okay. Now, what are your future plans for the group?
That's something that's like a daily discussion, to be honest. I have a very brief, not a very brief, but I have a descriptor of like, we are like-minded, well-traveled groups of people who come from all walks of life, whose end goal is to be as helpful yet mysterious as we can in the world of BitCraft. I have a lot of the people in my Discord and in my group wondering about like settlements and stuff like that. Obviously, the nature of a nomad is that they don't have roots, but I also understand that the nature of the game is probably going to lend itself towards more permanent housing, permanent homes, permanent settlements. So the plans are kind of fluid at the moment, but really hammering in that we're either going to be a collective of smaller groups or one big operating nomadic group. We were going to keep moving, keep the mystery element very high, cover a lot of bases, like do a lot of different things, really explore every nook and cranny that we can of the game. And then basically, whether it's little groups or a big group, the collective of all of us operates as a greater whole to benefit the greater whole, obviously. So whether it's going to be like little groups operating independently and then talking amongst themselves in one Discord, or if it's just going to be one large group of people spread out, kind of remains to be seen. The only concrete things I know that I want my group to do are not get themselves banned from the main Discord, number one. Number two, be nice to people and want to help them out. Number three, remain that kind of like mysterious Lost Woods force, you know, like if you know what the Lost Woods is from The Legend of Zelda. Imagine being
I'm a fan of that game.
Right. Imagine being one of the people that lives in the Lost Woods. How insane that would be, but like you know where everything is. It's crazy for any stranger that goes in there, right? But you're one of those Lost Woods kids. You're like one of those little Stalfos. So you know your way around that. And, you know, not knowing much about the game, it's really hard to go, I want this, I want to do that, I want to plan this. So I'm basing I'm tempering my expectations while basing a lot of it off of what I've seen in the trailer and what I have confirmed on the Discord via FAQs or dev answered questions. Really, the short answer is like, we want to keep moving, we want to stay mysterious, and we want to help people as much as possible. That is my goal for my nomads, is that your group, say, gets together later that night and was like, hey, I met these guys earlier today. But they had a bunch of mushrooms from like a different continent. Came out of nowhere and had it. That's what I want my nomads to be.
Okay. So, thank you for taking time out of your day to do this interview. And have a good day.
Oh, well, thank you. That was very short and to the point. Gotta say, it's one of the better interviews I've done in the last, like, 2 years.
I'm basically just making a compilation of different interviews to kind of show off the community, so I'm trying to keep them short.
Go through.
Yeah.
I understand that you probably have a lot of to go through.
Yeah. So anyways, thank you for your time, and goodbye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Exotic mushrooms? Sounds tasty. All jokes aside, I want to once again thank Nomad for the interview. I would also like to thank everyone featured in this video for taking the time to do interviews with me. I also want to thank the BitCraft community and developers for the warm reception to not only the idea of this video, but to myself and my channel as well. So far the community has been friendly and welcoming. something I hope continues. I also want to thank the devs for responding to my questions and taking the time to talk with me, even if it was just over Discord messages. BitCraft seems to be on the path to becoming something great. I can't wait to see the end result. In the meantime, though, let's all show the devs in the game the support they deserve. If you want to join these groups yourself, links are below in the description, along with a link to the BitCraft server and website. Timestamps for each interview section are down below in the description. Well, I gotta go see someone about getting this darn dragon head off. This is Reaper K and Drew, signing out. Hang on. Don't go yet. I have one more thing to add. Honestly, it's probably the most important thing. So hear me out, will you? After editing this video and getting it all together, I started designing the thumbnail. And I, of course, asked people what they thought of it, and that sort of thing. And people came and gave me advice. People from BitCraft came and gave me advice. But what probably surprised me the most was people whom, just the night before, I had been in conflict with, were trying to help me. And are still trying to help me, because as of making this clip, the thumbnail is still being designed. And these people have come, and they have taken their time to help me. And on top of this, it made me think about the time that the interviewees in this video took to help me to help me bring more substance to the video and make it what it is. And I'm seeing all this help I'm getting from the BitCraft community. And I am filled with warmth and happiness and gratitude. So from me, to the entirety of the BitCraft community, and especially those who have helped me on this video, both with the video itself and the thumbnail, I want to give you all the most sincere thank you I can. It is because of you that this video will succeed. And if it fails, that's me. Because I have no doubt in my mind that the parts that you guys attributed to are what will elevate this video beyond anything I have created before. It is thanks to all of you in the BitCraft community that this video will soar. I have no doubt in my mind that your contributions will allow it to soar. And for that, I want to thank you all. From the deepest depths of my heart, I want to thank you all. In this video, the crew part of Reaper K and Crew is the BitCraft community, and everyone who helped on this video. You all have done so much for me. I cannot thank you enough. I started this channel, I think it was 3 years ago, on my own, making videos on my phone. And if you want to get cringe, go ahead and go back and see those. And throughout that time, I've had personal tribulations, and I've had tribulations with the channel and my work and that. And it has allowed me to mature and grow, and I've always had people there to help me. In this instance, those people were the BitCraft community. In most cases, I just relied on my family. But this time, I really felt I could rely on the community. I want to thank you all from the deepest depths of my heart for helping with this video. And I know I keep thanking you, but that's just how much gratitude I have for you all. This is probably going to seem sappy and cringy within itself, but I still want to include it because you all deserve that thanks. You all deserve my gratitude. Now, until next time, this is Reaper K of Reaper K and Crew, signing out.